this is Ruth and I have two beautiful new die sets to share with you today. I've got the Delightful Decadence Hexagon gift box and the Delightful Decadence Square gift box. So they will make beautiful boxes, obviously, as what it says on the packaging, but you can also use the dies from both of these sets to make really, really beautiful cards, or even use them in scrapbooking as well. So if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell. And if you enjoy the video, give me a big thumbs up at the end and leave me a little comment. Let me know what you like and if you like what I've made with these and what you might make with them as well. And that will help me along, and it lets me know what kind of video you like as well. So let's have a quick look here. This one has 17 dies, so that's the hexagon one has 17 and the square one has 21 dies. And we'll have a little look at the square one first. And there are instructions inside both of them, so that's really, really neat, but they're really, really easy to make up anyway. So first of all, we have this lovely outside edge die, and that is 16 centimeters from point to point across this way, and then at the widest point across here it measures just under 13, so it's about 12 3/4 or thereabouts across from the widest point here. And that could be a lovely shape to put a photograph in, or just a big layer for the top of one of your cards. This one then is a verso die, so that means that you've got the pattern here with no cutting edges on the inside or the outside, and that then can be used to cut the pattern into your card, and it's a really, really beautiful pattern. But if you want to make a mat out of that, you would use that one with it as well. Then you can use this square one inside it, and that will give you a beautiful frame that you can lift off or on, because you'll have the cutting edge on the inside and the outside. Then when we look further here at these ones, we've got a really lovely trellis one. That's verso as well, so you'll have to use that with the square outside and also with this inner die to create a pattern that you lift off and use as a frame. But there's some really, really beautiful layering ones right down to the center one there that says thank you, for you and love you on these interchangeable ones as well. Then these are the panels here which make the sides and the lid, and this beautiful panel here which matches this one, and then you've got these scrolly ones as well. So you can actually use these panels on their own without this outside die on your cards. You could also use these ones with the little pattern die that go in them as well on cards, so don't forget all of that. And then we'll have a very, very quick look at the next one. So this is the Delightful Decadence Hexagon one this time, and this is the set with 17 dies, and there are all the instructions there as well. So I'm thinking, looking at this, that you could probably layer up the sides on both this one and the square one and make maybe a double height box on them. Now this is very similar to the other one except for the shape of it, but you've got the outside edge here, and then you've got verso dies that fit inside, and these ones then are the ones that would fit around to make the frames and that come in and out. Then you've got your circle layering dies with this beautiful little verso shape in here, and this one says miss you and with love, so you can use either of those as well. I think that would be absolutely beautiful inside a memory book. You could make pockets with these, you could use these for pockets. Actually, you could do all sorts of things, and that would be really, really lovely no matter what colour you use it in. But if you pick something really, really elegant, that is going to be a really, really beautiful gift box. Okay, then I've got lots and lots of pieces all die cut out and ready to go, and I thought that I would show you a very, very simple card with this one first of all, just to give you some ideas of how you could use this in a simple way if you're not wanting to go ahead and make the box right away, or if you want just to have another idea of it. But I'm going to make the card first this time. So I have picked out this beautiful Princess Pink pearlescent card. It's really, really nice, and I'm just going to stick to that and white and the dies that are in this set. So first of all, I've taken a 6x6 card blank, just like this, and then I've chosen the verso dies from the set. That's this one, and this one. So I laid these dies on and got a good idea of exactly where they should go, and layered them all like that, popped this one in, and noted exactly where I needed to put them before I die cut them through the machine, but I actually did them one at a time because I wanted to be sure that the detail was cut out and none of these moved. So I put that one through the machine, then took that off and popped that one into where the aperture then was showing, took that one off and then popped that one in, and that gave me this beautiful card here. So you can see when I put it through the machine, I left the card open like that so that I didn't damage the back of the card, and I ended up with this beautiful front on the card here. Now, you could do exactly the same thing with this one, but I would suggest that you maybe use a bigger card for this one, because you can see here when I lay that on here that would weaken the card quite a bit because it's going right up to the top, and these areas then would be weak here and here. So a 7x7 card would maybe be good for that one. But back to this one. I'm going to show you a few different ways that you could finish this card off, and then I'll finish it the way that I prefer myself. So you can leave it just like this and add your sentiment or whatever in the centre, and I have cut out thank you with the two little dies, and that could go in there. And then when that sits up, you would be able to, I'll just put it this way so you can see it. That's what it's going to look like. If you don't want this totally open in at the back there, you can cut yourself a piece of pink card to just slightly smaller than your actual card size, but 1 centimetre bigger on the width there, and then you could glue this or stick that in whatever way you like onto there and leave that as a loose leaf on there, and then this would show through here, but you also still have that sort of open feeling whenever you open the card. And then you have this leaf, and then you have the inside of the card. Alternatively then you could actually just glue that on there and have that as a whole panel with the pink showing through. Now I die cut a smaller square, slightly smaller than the size of the card, and then I took the centre out of it with this large die, and I've given myself that shape which can go on there. Then I took the square die from the set, so this one, and then I used this one inside, and I also used the little shaped one, this one, and I used the 3 of those together, and I got myself this shape, and that could also go on there, and that is really, really beautiful there. So you could have either that one and that one together and this in the centre, and it would look just like that, really, really pretty. Or as I think I'm going to do, even though I cut that out, I think I prefer it with all of the white showing and just the pink in the centre. But I've also cut the large shape here, and that's this one again, and I've taken the square out of the centre of it. So I've used these two together, and I've given myself this shape, and this is just to show you another alternative. If I lift those off, just because I haven't glued them down yet, you don't need to cover the whole inside of it the way I have done with this one, but you can just pop that piece in behind this area here, and that way you'll have pink through there, but you'll still have some of that open feel coming through there, just like that. So I hope that's given you a few different ways of using that. You could also back those onto the plain piece and then pop them up on 3D foam pads, but I'm going to go ahead now and glue that on there and that on there, and that's the way I want to finish my little card. I've used the Princess Pink again with some beautiful Italian Rose mirror card, and following the instructions there, then I know that I need to cut 2 mats with this one, and then I need 2 decorative layers, so I have used these 2 dies together. So I have already got these 2. I'm going to pop that aside because it's very, very glary in that light, but this is the plain layer here, and then the decorative one that I'm going to glue on top, and that will give me the top of my box and the bottom. So I'll go ahead and glue this on. I'm sure I've mentioned this in videos before, but I find that if I put glue on this area on the underside of a mirror card, that you usually see a little ripple or something on the other side whenever you turn it over. So I've put the glue on the outside edge where it's very, very fine and you're not going to notice it, but I'm actually going to attach these pieces with some double-sided adhesive, and that way that solves all of that. Now back to the die set, and we've got all the pieces here that we need to make the actual box and then the lid itself. So you can see here that we've got 3 panels here, here and here, and this one with the tab on both sides will make the outside edge. So you'll have this shape if you cut it out with that, and this one then will make the outside edge, the one with the tabs, for the lid. Now I've gone ahead then and I have used the decorative panel here, this one, along with its outside edge, which is that one, and I have glued that then onto this edge here. So I have cut out 4 of these and 4 of these, and I can join all of those together. I've also cut out 4 of these, and I have used these 2 decorative detail dies together, and I've glued those on top, and I've got this lovely pattern. So these will make the lid, these will make the base, and I need to glue them all together in a long row first of all. And then when I've got those into the long line shape, I can turn them around then and just glue this little tab on and finish it off into a little square on both of them. I'm using pearlescent card, the glue just takes a little minute or 2 more to grab than it would do on normal classic card, but if you feel comfortable enough going ahead with high-tack tape, you can do that as well, or instead of the wet adhesive. Now on this part then, you can just turn it over. I've already burnished all these score lines, and I'm going to turn both of these over, and on one of these then, hopefully the glare won't be too much on the camera again, but I'm going to glue right across there. And as I say, pardon me, as I say, if you prefer to do this with high-tack tape, go ahead, but this gives a little bit of manoeuvrability. I'm going to bring this in and then centre that down in there. You can see there how I have glued this one on with the mirror part showing up, and that's the actual box. This one is the lid, so the mirrored part is on the other side of it. And I don't want to turn that over because it will glare just so much at the moment, but I've got all these other pieces that I'm going to add together, and then that will become the decorative detail for the top of this, and I'll go ahead then and glue that on there. Glued that piece in place then, and I have glued these 2 panels together, and I'm going to pop this one up on sticky foam pads just to give it a little bit of dimension on the top there. Those are not 2 colours that I would normally put together, but I actually think it's turned out really, really lovely this time. The just something about them just grabbed me when I was looking through all my coloured paper to see how I would go. Now we have that finished. We've got the little box, and you can see this lovely mirrored card inside. We can pop the lid on. And then I made a little flower with one of the Flawless Flower, I think it was this one. Let's just have a little look. Yes, this little die here from the Buttercup die set. So that's out of this die set, and I cut it out a few times there and layered it up, and I'm just going to glue that up on top there. And that's a lovely little box. I've also got some crystal actually dream drops I think in the centre of that as well. So there we are, there's a lovely little card and a box that could go together. Now I'm going to move on to the next one, but because I've already shown you all of the whole way through this one, the next one's actually very similar, just using the different dies. And this time I've picked out some beautiful purple glitter card. I've actually used these two, so we've got Soft Amethyst, Saddened Effect Mirror card and Berry Fizz glitter card for the next one, and they look really, really beautiful together. So I'm going to show you through this and through the instructions that are on this one as well. They're very, very easy to follow. So again, you'll need to cut out the tops, the plain piece here, and then a decorative panel. So I have gone ahead and done that, and then I've cut out 6 of each of these little side panels. Now they're smaller, of course. There they are, there's the other one. And I've cut 6 of those out and joined them all together using the little... I actually didn't use decorative panels on them this time because I thought the satin card and the glitter card were absolutely beautiful, and I had showed you the other things on that one. So this time I have kept this fairly simple. But for the top then, I used this outside die, this one, and this one. So I'll move this over and show you these together. I've used these 3, so we've got this outside die, this one, and then this one, and that cut out a tiny little, narrow little frame which I was able to stick on top of the plain outline die and give myself this lovely shape here. So I have used the 2 of those together, and then as you can see I've gone ahead and made the lid in exactly the same way as I did with the square one, except when I set it down I had already die cut a little piece for the inside to cover the glue tabs, and as I was gluing that together I cut that out and set it in there, and just before the glue had dried I sort of made sure that that fitted in perfectly, and it kept all these sides aligned as well. So I can go ahead and glue that in there now. I just kept it loose because I wanted to show you what I had done. Now I've made the base as well, and I've done exactly the same thing. I've made it in exactly the same way, and I've lined this with glitter card as well. That's really, really gorgeous, isn't it? So now I can put my little lid on the box and I can decorate the top of that up as well. So I have taken the smaller dies this time. I've got these ones, so I have used this outside edge here and this little panel, and I've cut those together and I've backed them onto a plain one of this, and I've got my 3D foam pads on as well because I wanted to have a little dimension in that one the way I did on the other. I thought that looked really, really nice, and that's going to go on there. I don't use purples an awful lot, but isn't that lovely? Really, really nice. Now I've cut the circle out in white this time, and then I have backed this on top of it, and I know there's no other white on that. I'm going to actually add a little bit of glue just to give it extra grip on top of the glitter card and pop that into the centre. I know there's no I know there's no other white in that, but it actually needed that little bit of white just to make that pop. And I think they turned out really, really lovely. I've actually got some other pieces here that I've cut out. I just wanted to show you that some of the waste from these areas, you can use that on cards as well. Don't throw any of these away. Hold on to them, and you can use those on cards as well. Well, I hope that inspires you to make something really, really nice with your dies. So we've got the square box, the hexagonal box, and a lovely card that matches as well. And obviously, you can pick your colours and see what you like. Maybe turquoises or greens or whatever, which are usually my favourites, would be really, really gorgeous in that too. Or some golds, gold and chocolate brown even would be gorgeous together in that. Let me know what you think, and let me know what colours you would use as well, because I always love to hear that from you. Thank you very, very much for watching, if you've watched right through to the end. If you haven't already subscribed, I know I said this at the start, but if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do that. That really helps my channel along. And I know lots of you are watching and haven't actually subscribed, but it would really help me. And give the video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and a little comment always helps too. I'll have my links to all these products down below. You can read a little bit about it, then you can see the links as well, and I'll tell you the names of the cards and whatever I've used as well. My affiliate links will give me a little commission if you use them, but it won't cost you anything extra. So I really appreciate everybody who uses those, so thank you very, very much. And until next time, happy crafting Bye!